in the future in the year 2330, and the human race has left Earth its planet of origin and begun its expansion through space. Mankind hasn't left the Milky Way, but has concentrated on one part of it, a vast area known as the colonized systems. Unfortunately, as the years went by and the first discoveries were made, humanity didn't go any further and confined itself to the spaces it had colonized. It's in this context where humanity needs new challenges to push back the limits it set itself a few centuries earlier that the events of Starfield begin, and across this world, several factions will emerge. Let's start with the most important faction. Starfield's largest and most powerful faction, in short, the one that seems to act as a military and cultural powerhouse, as well as a social one, the United Colonies. The United Colonies is a true republic, centralized with other member colonies throughout the Starfield universe. It is the strongest military force on Earth. It founded its capital in the year 2161, named the New Atlantis, on the planet Jemison in the Alpha Centauri system. In 2310, some 20 years before the events of Starfield, war broke out between the United Colonies and the FREESTAR Collective, another faction to which we'll return shortly. This bloody event resulted in victory for the FREESTAR Collective, which retained its independence. Since then, the two factions have stared each other in the face and shared a difficult peace. The United Colonies is a republic run by the military, administrative, and scientific triumvirate, also known as the MAST. This is a council about which we have little information at present, but which certainly makes the most important decisions within the colonies. On the other hand, when it comes to more military or security-related tasks, it would seem that these are handled by other organizations such as UC Security, UC SysDev, or UC Vanguard. Let's take a look at another faction I was just telling you about, the FREESTAR Collective, adversary of the United Colonies during the Colonial War. The FREESTAR Collective is a powerful faction and one of the governments in place in the colonized systems. It's a very, very proud human confederation that has always been very attached to its independence and owns no less than 3 distinct star systems. The FREESTAR Collective founded its capital, Aquila City, in 2167, 6 years after the United Colonies created the capital of New Atlantis. The city's districts include Coe Plaza, named after Solomon Coe, the founder of Aquila City. There's also Midtown, the core, and a spaceport. In some trailers, and in the Starfield Direct, we saw that the city was surrounded by a very large wall. The reason is quite simple. The FREESTAR Collective can't stand anyone encroaching on its territory, especially when it comes to the Ashta. This predator is very, very fierce and lives not far from the city of Aquila. As I said earlier, the FREESTAR Collective is independent, and even if its capital is very heterogeneous, the same burning desire inhabits all its occupants, to remain free and to exist as individuals in their own right. One last major point you need to know before playing Starfield. After the Colonial War, the FREESTAR Collective created an organization called the FREESTAR Rangers, whose task is to maintain peace between the inhabitants, but above all, with regard to the United Colonies. The developers also specify that this faction is directly inspired by the space western fantasy aesthetic. Okay, let's move on to the other side of the chessboard with some illegality. The Crimson Fleet is a peculiar confederation of star pirate captains united under the same banner. Previously, these outlaws had been a huge problem for the FREESTAR Collective. But in the year 2330, at the same time as the events of Starfield began, the Crimson Fleet strangely expanded. Previously confined to the Crix system, the pirates quickly established footholds in other systems such as Sagan, Cheyenne, and Narion. This has even prompted the United Colonies to retaliate and pledge to eliminate them. They are neither friends of the FREESTAR Collective nor close allies with the United Colonies. They see them as threats to their respective republics. Their crest, inspired by the flag of the Jolly Roger, is highly identifiable, and fear is present even among members, since leaving this faction is punishable by death. Admiral Pasquale Logan of the United Colonies Fleet declared that anyone displaying this flag is presumed to be associated with the Crimson Fleet and may therefore be eliminated. We now move on to a faction that is more of a company, but is so powerful that it constitutes a certain infrastructure on its own. RYUJIN Industries is a sprawling company that makes its fortune in trade. It offers its services throughout all the colonized systems of the Starfield world, so it's not impossible that you'll come across some of this industry's products during your adventures. In Japanese, the word RYUJIN refers to the patron deity of the sea in Shinto mythology. And that's not entirely coincidental, given that the sea, and by extension water, is the source of life, abundance, and viability. But it's no coincidence either, given that RYUJIN Industries is headquartered in Neon, the city of pleasures located in the heart of the sea. I'm going to group two factions together in the same part because at the moment they have very little information. You've got the ECLIPTIC Mercenaries, a Starfield faction made up of mercenaries. Here's a surprise. For example, it can be compared to the Companion Guild in Skyrim, and it is made up of individuals trained in both ground and space combat. There's also the Spacers, a criminal group that is very, very violent when it operates, and that gangrenes colonized systems. Be very careful if you're spotted by them during your adventures, as they attack on sight. I'll end this video with the most popular faction, the one with the most coverage and exposure from Bethesda, the Constellation Group. Constellation is a mysterious, legendary group based in New Atlantis, the capital of the United Colonies. But this secret group of explorers existed long before that and took part in mankind's great conquests across the stars. In 2330, when the events of Starfield began, the Constellation Group was a shadow of its former self, and very few people knew it was still active. Constellation devotes its existence to answering mankind's greatest questions, and is also keen to find out what lies beyond the territories known to man. This search is accelerated by the discovery of a mysterious extraterrestrial artifact. And in the same year, a mysterious employee of Argos Extractors finds another artifact in the mines while he is working. The latter is contacted by the Constellation Group and joins them to find the missing artifacts and truly understand what lies behind the mystery left by another civilization. The rest will be your own adventure in the Starfield universe when the game is available. Please note that this video isn't totally exhaustive, since Starfield isn't out yet, so I've taken into account all the information officially released by Bethesda. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't hesitate to subscribe, and don't forget to activate the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Play well, and take care.